Hey, how is it going, guys? Welcome to the Pulschat. Technical difficulties like right at the start, which is absolutely hilarious. The theme song didn't want to work, so I used the original theme song for the channel. But either way, how is it going, everybody? I will need to note everyone that is here. Mohit, Happy Goss, Nintendo, how's it going, dude? And we have Osman. Thank you guys for joining us right at the start. It's always awesome when that happens. Oh man, so how's it going, Will?
What's up? Today is my birthday.
What's happening?
Yeah, it is Will's
your birthday,
birthday, by the way. Yeah, he is turning 47.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
He is an old man. So, that's a thing.
Turning 19, but
You're turning 19?
Dude, turning. He's already 19 at this point.
yeah, I'm 19. Yeah, I'm 19.
Oh my god, I feel old. Holy
I know, right?
shit.
Roger, you just need the bounce pad,
Dude,
you
I'm
know?
turning 28 this year.
Because you're old, that's why.
Jesus Christ, I feel like I should bring out a walker
Old
or
must
something.
smell. That's funny. I love that Osmond. It was like must smell. Well, either way, guys, today our topics are pretty general. We're going to talk about E3 2018, just a few different games and stuff that could be showed off, ones that will be shown off. We might make a couple predictions, although we're going to primarily save that for the Pulschat on Friday, because that's our regular day for Pulschat. We're going to talk a little bit about Smash for Switch and Pokemon Let's Go, and then we're going to have our general Q&A at the end of this Pulschat as well. But either way, Andy roasting faster than Sonic can run. Oh my god. But either way, let's get started, starting off with E3 2018. And one thing that I will mention right now is the game Anthem. Do you have any interest in seeing this game at all, Will?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Like, I've seen some gameplay. Like, so far for me, like, the only thing they've shown is just like graphics. And I kind of want to see more like gameplay.
Yeah, I personally would like to see them do something with it, because like when we first saw Anthem, it was like a pre-rendered, like it was very like scripted gameplay, and that's all we really had of Anthem. And then I've heard like little horror stories of Anthem as well, whether like it's going to be canceled, or if it's actually being worked on. And honestly, it feels like a game that would be canceled, because it's like one of those too good to be true games. Kind of like Naruto Shinobi Striker.
Right.
The entire time for that game's development, I felt like it was going to get canceled, because it's one of those too good to be true games. And Anthem seemed like one of those, but apparently it's going to come. What do you think of this, David?
I am super hyped on it. The fact that it's kind of BioWare's redemption to hopefully show us that, you know, that Mass Effect was just kind of a fluke and they kind of messed up, and I'm hoping that this is their way of showing us that, you know, they're still that big developer that, you know, can push out stuff like the Dragon Age stuff. They did say, and it is confirmed, that it will be playable on the show floor at E3. So, and we are supposed to get a new trailer for it at E3. And I think one of the main things that's kind of hyping me on it, and it's just because I'm a pretty big Destiny fan. We can talk more about that a little later. But they are actually saying that it's supposed to be sort of like Destiny, where you have like this giant, you know, exploring, you know, or like world that you can explore and do all these, you know, cool things. And, you know, we've already seen them go underwater and stuff. So I'm excited to see what else that they have to show us. They really got to kind of sell people on it.
So it's supposed to be over ambitious.
Right.
Because like Destiny, it's funny because like original Destiny before the first game came out was so drastically like over ambitious that literally nothing they envisioned for the game made it into the game.
Well, so, I mean, like, a lot of that is due to timing and everything too. I mean, just for me, excuse me, spending some time learning more about like game development and everything, like, and it's Activision. Activision has always been one to kind of be like, okay, hey, you got to have this game out at this date, you know. I think that's why a lot of people were kind of burnt on how Vanilla Destiny came about, and that's when they started implementing more of those changes. So over ambitious maybe, but I mean maybe they can also, you know, show us that their overambition was actually, you know, worthwhile. You know, like that the stuff that they, you know. And then the thing too, you have to realize is that Anthem hasn't really come out and said a whole lot.
No, they haven't.
So that's maybe something on their end too, where they haven't said anything because they don't want to come out and say, "Oh, we're doing this, 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 and this," and then the people that have actually paid attention and hung on to those words by the time the game drops, and they're going, "Well, none of this stuff was even in your game." You know, I think they're playing it safe as far as that goes, and I think it's a smart move on their part.
Well, hold that thought. Nintendo, dude, thank you for the donation. That was really awesome of you. And welcome to the stream, the Natural Gamer XP. You guys are really awesome. Thanks for hanging out, and definitely thank you for that donation. That was awesome. And still, offers on the floor. Just let me know when you're free to get into a podcast with us, dude. But anyway, yeah, with Anthem though, I guess since we're talking about Anthem, one hope that I do have for Anthem, because they did say it'll have drop in, drop out gameplay. I am hoping that the game does have a legit multiplayer focus and not just a game where you are playing with other people. You know what I mean? Like
just running into other people.
Yeah, like I can still kind of use
possibility.
Yeah, I could still kind of use Destiny as a example. And a lot of games could be used in this example. So I'm not nitpicking at Destiny. It's just since we talked about it, I'm going to mention it. Right. But a game where you're working with someone versus a game where you're just kind of paired with people. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Gears of War. You are working with those people. You feel like you're in co-op with those people. But when I play Destiny, like with Rebecca, it's like she's just kind of in my game. Like, I don't feel like I'm working cooperatively with this person. And right. That's like the disconnect that big open world multiplayer games have. I'm hoping Anthem literally makes you feel like you are really working with this person and it's not just someone that's following you.
Yeah, I mean, I can get where you're coming from. I'd say for me, like, outside of Destiny as an example, I'd say Far Cry 5 was really good with that.
Yeah, Far Cry 5, perfect example too. You really felt like you were working with that other person.
Yeah, like I had, you know, there was a number of times where, like, especially after, like, I was real close to beating the game and my buddy had already beaten it, like, he hopped into my game and, like, legitimately helped me out. Like, I was on, you know, on the helicopter and he's, you know, shooting people with me, you know, we're both kind of going in at separate angles, kind of flanking the enemy. Like, it was, like, legit teamwork, you know, and if, you know, the chat and everything helped too. So, yeah, I definitely think, and with Anthem seeing how Destiny, you know, I mean, Anthem's probably been in the works for a while now. So they've been able to, if they're trying to mold it after Destiny to have like their own giant open world multiplayer RPG style game, they're going to see the stuff that people have been saying that they wanted from Destiny and, you know, what they've said Destiny needed and everything. And they're going to add that to their game. I'm hoping they're going to learn from Destiny's mistakes. So,
well, I guess let's move on from Anthem and let's talk about, I guess, Days Gone. Are you guys excited for the game Days Gone? If you don't remember what Days Gone is, totally makes sense if you don't remember, considering the fact that Sony didn't really show it off again after the one time. But they already claimed that it's going to be shown this year. We're going to get more on Days Gone. In a nutshell, it is a zombie apocalypse survival story-driven. Because it's Sony, it's going to have a very in-depth and probably amazing storyline. I don't know if it's the same team or not. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't even remember if it's the same company, but I think it's the people that did like the God of War and the Last of Us and stuff. No.
God of War did, or Santa Monica did God of War, and Naughty Dog has done the Uncharted stuff.
No, not Uncharted. Last of Us, unless is Naughty Dog the Last of Us?
Same thing. Naughty Dog. Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
yes, because that was. If they're okay, I'm gonna be honest. So the very first time that they showed off the demo, they had that one where they had all of the freakers is what they're calling them, these zombies that you're seeing on the screen. It had just a ton of them all on the screen, and they wanted to show off like the graphic fidelity and the fact that they could have all of the stuff going on the screen at one time and not have any frame drop. And it was kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like a technical, like a technical preview of like what that, you know, what that is. They did show off a second one, I believe, last E3, because they've shown off, you know, like the past couple E3s, they've shown off new stuff. But I'll tell you what's, if you really want to get even somewhat of a feel for what this game is, Game Informer actually did they played the first hour of Days Gone with the developers.
Well, no offense to how these games play, but I'm not really expecting anything like spectacular as far as a gameplay element from Days Gone, because a lot of games play exactly the same nowadays. So at this point, I'm going to be playing the game for its story. Because if I was going to go in and play for its gameplay, I'm not going to be very surprised.
No, I mean, and that's a fair point. Because a lot of people have, you know, still kind of compared it to The Last of Us and everything.
It's like any other third-person shooter on the Sony platform.
Yeah, I mean, they have said too that this game is hard. Like, this is not there. I believe they've said that there is actually not like a difficulty that you can pick. It is literally just one straight difficulty, and it's literally hard. Not like, for those of you thinking, it's not like, you know, where you're going to be struggling super hard in, you know, like a Dark Souls or anything, but they've said that it's not going to be like super easy for you to beat this game or to play it or anything. But even playing, like I sat there and I watched like the whole first hour of them showing this off, and it's built more of my interest in the game. I won't say that I'm like for sure 110% money, like they've got my money already or anything like that. I'd still like to see a little bit more. But as of right now, I'm interested. You know, I'm curious to see what else they have for that game. So
yeah, either way, hold that thought. Definitely welcome to the stream, Chips and Sticks. Thank you for joining us, my dude. I wonder if Nintendo's still here. Either way, everybody that just joined, keep in mind our topics are right in the center of the screen. E3 2018. Technically, the E3 2018 and the chit chat are kind of together in a way, but I decided to just divide them just in case. We're going to talk a little bit about Smash Switch and Pokemon Let's Go later on as well. Then we'll do our Q&A with the gift card giveaway right after that, so keep that in mind. Now, so with Days Gone, I already know they're not gonna like put any type of like multiplayer or anything in it, but I'm definitely wondering if they're gonna have like at least like, because there's got to be something to drive a game, right? Obviously. So zombie stories have been done almost too many times, especially as of late. So I'm wondering what they're going to do to make this story different. Make like an actual resolution. Like, I'm wondering how that's going to go. Because like I'm a sucker for zombie games, no matter what. Anytime a zombie game comes out, I typically grab it. But they never differ from each other in literally any kind of way. I'm wondering what this game's going to offer, since Sony is literally known for and are good at storytelling with just about almost every game they have come out. So I'm wondering how this one's going to like fare as far as story is concerned.
Yeah, that's you know, just in recent memory, like just pop culture stuff in general, like there's just been a bunch of just zombie stuff. Like you wanna introduce a lazy but somewhat interesting storyline, just throw a zombie in there.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, that's like, kind of like The Last of Us.
Right. But like, you know, it's kind of like the Sony thing where maybe it's just Sony in general. But they've shown that game. Like, this E3 will be the third E3 they've shown that game. And I don't even think it has a release date. So it's like, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of interested in it, but like, I'm more of a solid info kind of guy, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with Days Gone, because it's like I said, like Sony has been doing a good job of pumping out very, very good games. So no matter how much I speculate. And how's it going? Get wow, sexy boy. Okay. No matter how much I speculate, no matter how much it sounds like, because I'm not. Let me assure you guys now, I'm not hating on this game in any form. Because no matter what, at the end of the day, I will be buying it. So it's like, I just want more. You know, I need to know just a little bit more before I dive into it, just because at the moment it's not necessarily impressing me. Just because this is a formula we've seen a little bit too much from Sony themselves. The same formula has kind of been used like a lot. Like, replace that gun with a bow and you got another game with Aloy. I mean, just saying. Like, that might trigger somebody, but just try to think of it from my perspective.
It's almost like they have that, because, you know, everyone accuses Ubisoft of having their cardboard cutout open world games. Like, if you jump from one open world Ubisoft game to another and they just feel the same. So it's almost, you know, to an extent, it's almost the same with Sony. It just, like, walking simulator, I think that's the term. But, like, I mean, sometimes, I'd say that's kind of how it feels.
Hey, fair enough. All right, so I guess we covered that game. I wonder if there's anything else that needs to be covered as far as things that are just on my mind. I guess I'll throw another one out there that's on my mind before we get to anything completely crazy, because I feel like this is going to get insane in just a minute. So I guess the next one is, I'm sure everybody here has heard about the new Assassin's Creed in some vein. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is what they're calling it. My God, are these pictures tiny.
Right.
So, here, let me do like a blown up picture of this. So, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's funny because people were thinking that Ubisoft was going to try and do another, like, collab. Because if you guys have not noticed, Ubisoft has been collabing with other gaming companies. Like, completely. Like, if you had Final Fantasy 15, for example, there is an Assassin's Creed mission on Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, there's a whole event on that.
Yeah, and there's a couple other games where they've just been adding Assassin's Creed stuff to. And when they did this Assassin's Creed Odyssey, people for some reason were thinking that Assassin's Creed Odyssey was going to be connected to Mario Odyssey. Which would have been awesome. Obviously, that's not what it was, though. But if Assassin's Creed and Mario paired up, you know how awesome that would be? Like...
Well, some of the pictures that people were posting on, like, Twitter and everything were freaking hilarious, too. Like, just, you know, like, putting the hat on, like, one of the, like, the assassin, or putting Cappy on, like, one of the older Assassin's Creed characters, like, Ezio and everything. Like, I was laughing my ass off watching it. But I'm actually, like, really excited for this. Like, for whatever reason, Origins never grabbed me. Like, I played it for, like, an hour, and I just...
Yeah, Origins, you're right. And Origins didn't grab me either because the gameplay was completely different. And that's why I didn't care for it. Although I do need to sit down and play Origins because it's been... I played it day one for just a little bit and then did not resurface the game. So it's like, I didn't give it a fair enough chance, so I'm probably going to go back and play that game. But I'm hoping they don't make it like that game, like RPG-like. I want it to go back to what Assassin's Creed was.
Well, they did say that they are having, like, God, what's the term I'm thinking of? Something like with the conversations, like, you can choose your, like,
the
dialogue paths and everything. Which is completely new for an Assassin's Creed game like that. They've never had that before. So having, like, branching dialogue paths and everything, which is the word or the phrase I was looking for, like, it could be really, really cool. At first, I thought I remembered hearing one of the CEOs or somebody from over in whoever's doing Assassin's Creed say that they were not bringing out another Assassin's Creed game this year, and that they were strictly going to focus on Odyssey or Origins because of how well it actually did.
Well, Ubisoft is very good at lying, though. So.
Oh, wow. I'm not denying that, but I'm also, you know, I mean, no, let's be honest too. Let's name a developer that hasn't lied.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's part of the. Yeah. I'm gonna drop that, but.
No, David spilled the tea.
No.
You're already there, David. What's up? Boy, let's go. You're already there? What Nintendo am I about?
No. I'm going to go on with this because we got Assassin's Odyssey up on there. But,
Super Assassin Odyssey.
Oh,
Super
welcome
Assassin.
Gaming Legacies. Legacies.
Oh, yeah.
And Jack January and Cameron. How's it going, guys?
But yeah, it's I'm definitely excited for this. It's definitely, you know, I like the fact that they're going towards like the Greek culture of things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean,
I'm really hoping Kratos just comes out and rips someone in half at some point in the game. Just,
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they had some. I'm not necessarily saying something God of War related, but you know, maybe dipped a little toe into like that type of the lore. You know, like I don't know exactly where they're gonna go with this. You know, they could go with, you know, like the Spartans fighting. Like if you notice, like it's a Spartan helmet that they have as part of their logo. They even showed a dude like in like the little tiny clip that they had of him kicking a dude, and when I reposted, I literally said like, "This is Sparta," you know, just because it was like that. That's the very first thing that came to my head when I thought of that.
Yeah, that guy getting kicked off. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and that dude fucking flew. Like he kicked him, and that dude literally like
launched
sword. Yeah.
Master Smash says Ubisoft saw how good Mario Odyssey was and decided to name their game Odyssey, so they'll get nominated for Game of the Year. Oh boy, Assassin's Creed Odyssey with Luigi Balloon World coming to future update. Ezio's Balloon World, boy. A funky mode. Alright, you guys are just... like,
man, you thought we were going to get crazy.
Alright.
And chat's going all over the place.
We haven't even gotten a crazy mode yet. Alright, so moving on. The next game that I wanted to quickly touch base on was Devil May Cry. If there are any Devil May Cry fans out there, there have been lots of teases for Devil May Cry 5, and basically lots of confirmations that it's a thing. So we should be getting a Devil May Cry 5 announcement at E3, at least I'm hoping. There also have been some teases for some type of Devil May Cry 2 remake or re-release or something, which was the worst one out of the entire series. What do you think about that? Them either making a new game or the fact that the second one might get remade or remastered?
I'm psyched if they bring out Devil May Cry 5. I mean, the fact that they've already, like, it's already been confirmed that Capcom has gotten the license for a domain under Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah.
It just automatically, like, when I heard that, I got super psyched on it, because I played the shit out of Devil May Cry 4. And that was, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna sit back and say like I'm a hardcore fan because I haven't, like, I didn't play DMC.
Was I the only one that liked DMC? Because I thought it was really good. Like, a lot of people that I spoke to really liked it, but they bitched about the way Dante's player model or the way he talked or something. It's like, dude, this is literally like 100 and something years in the past. Let him be a teenager.
Yeah. Well, and that's like, yeah, DMC was kind of set as like a prequel to everything, so. That's why I'm thinking, you know, and it did okay. Like, people said it wasn't, like, a bad game, but it wasn't, like, what they know about Devil May Cry.
Well, I believe it was the highest rated in selling Devil May Cry game to come out.
And that may very well, I don't know the statistics or anything.
I don't know, it's a really good game. I like Dante.
Like, a lot of people were, like, it's like, it came out, and then, like, nobody talked about it, it seemed like. Like, it just kind of...
Right.
People just bitched about Dante. They're like, not my hashtag, not my Dante. And they're like, oh, Dante's to this. It's like, it's his exact same personality. He's just more of a jerk. Because he's a teenager. Teenagers tend to be jerks.
Well, and I think, too, with this one, like, they're going to go back to the normal aesthetic that you're used to seeing for Dante, like, with the white hair and everything.
Well, yeah. Well, at the end of DMC, he got his white hair. Not that that matters. That game's supposed to be a prequel. But
yeah,
because Devil May Cry 5, you played as a completely different character. No different from my 4. You played as Nero, and you barely played as Dante. So it's like, and Nero's from the comic book, something a lot of people don't know. So
yeah, so like I said, I'm not gonna sit back and say that I'm like a huge hardcore DMC fan, but the fact that they said that they were, you know, that they had gotten the domain name for it got me really hyped. And like I said, I played the shit out of Devil May Cry 4. I thought that game was fantastic. It was almost kind of like. What's the can't even think right now. I'm so freaking tired. I know.
You old people, man. You guys always get tired. Papa's supposed to have his dinner by 6 and in bed by 9. But you gotta watch Golden Girls or All in the Family before you fall asleep, or the rest of your day is ruined.
That is definitely me right now.
Sorry.
But no, I liked the gameplay. I thought it was really cool. So I'm definitely excited for if they announce this next one.
Yeah, fair enough. And there's not really much to talk about on that note other than the fact that they're doing it. That's more of like a reminder that it's a thing. Now, have you heard anything?
Really cool they did.
Say it again.
No, I was saying because I didn't really get to say my thoughts, but he did. Like you said, there's really nothing else to say.
Yeah, there isn't too much. I guess one thing I will touch base on and see how you feel about this is the fact that there was some Korean listing for Devil May Cry HD Remaster for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that's funny because yeah, we were on the phone. I said it. I was gonna because it was at a discount on PlayStation. I was gonna get it for like $21, which is funny. But now I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, you might as well wait for it to come out on the Switch. I mean, even though it is a listing and it's in a completely different country, normally when something like that happens, it's typically a thing. And Capcom has already stated that they're going to give a lot of support to the Switch, kind of like Ubisoft. Yeah. Not Ubisoft, although they said the same thing about the Wii U, so fuck Ubisoft. But Square Enix, you and I talked about that earlier. Square Enix is opening up an entirely different division just for the Switch. And they're going to be doing like round-the-clock Switch development, which is awesome. What do you both think about that?
And that is yeah, the producer of Project Octopath Traveler said that, I'm pretty sure. Which gets me really excited because I'm really excited for Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, he's supposed to actually be the leader of that, from what I read. Right.
Like the whole division. Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the leader of that.
Yeah, and they teased more in development for the Switch, so it's like, you know, hopefully there's a sequel in there somewhere. Even though I haven't played the game, I just feel it's like it's gonna be good.
Oh, did you not play the demo?
No, I played the demo.
Okay. Yeah, the game's pretty good, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing a lot more. They were talking about even doing Chrono Trigger for the Switch as well. Now I don't know if they're going to do it in the vein of Secret of Mana or if they're just going to port the original game, but either way, I'd be very psyched to see that happen. Or Square Enix give us something that's not a Kingdom Hearts remake.
That would be cool. Yeah, something that's not Kingdom Hearts or The World Ends With You. Oh man, I forgot all about that for a second.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll tell you what, that would be dope if they announced like Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 remix.
No, it would not.
Oh, dude, I
would like it.
I'm so sick of getting Kingdom Hearts remakes and stuff and re-releases. I literally said that to you earlier, Will. I was like, watch them announce freaking Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 for the Switch or something. It's like, man, I'm so done. Just give me Kingdom Hearts 3. Stop giving me other iterations. Don't give me these old Kingdom Hearts games on the Switch and then give everybody else the new one on the other systems.
Here's the thing, though, is Kingdom Hearts was primarily on the PlayStation, so, and especially, like, this is...
No, and the Game Boy.
Oh.
And the Game
God
Boy.
forbid.
Can't forget the chain of memories. Get out of here.
Okay. But that's one thing I'm actually really surprised that they haven't done yet is put 1.5 and 2.5 remix on the Xbox, because Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming to the Xbox.
Because who wants to put a game on the Xbox?
Dude, but the thing is you got a whole group of people. Like, if you are a diehard Xbox fan, but you really liked, you know, what you saw about Kingdom Hearts and everything, you're like, man, I really want to play that game, but I got an Xbox, you know, original or an Xbox 360, and I haven't been able to play some of these games. Now that you got this, now you're gonna bring out Kingdom Hearts 3, but you're not gonna give them anything else to play on. Like, there's a whole,
to be real,
story.
If you're an Xbox fan, anything out of Japan, you're just completely uninterested in.
Like, not necessarily, though, because that's what Xbox is trying to do.
But Xbox fans only care about the reason why they even have an Xbox is for, well, I guess a bunch of dead franchises, but for driving Gears of War and Halo, because what else do they have? Like, if you buy an Xbox, it's because of those games. Not... So, if you made the decision to buy an Xbox, but you look over at Sony and you go, I like all that stuff you got coming from Japan, you already did it wrong. Like...
Yeah.
Like, as someone that... And this is how I say it. I'm a guy that loves his Xbox, plays his PlayStation a lot, but I'm a Nintendo fanboy. So, with that being said, any shade I throw at Xbox is out of love. I want them to do well, and they refuse to do well. So it's Phil Spencer just went on a
Oh God, he went over to Japan to actually talk to developers about bringing their stuff to the Xbox because he wants.
And a handful of games have come, like Valkyrie Chronicles and.
Well, that I mean, you have to figure
they haven't been getting anything.
Final Fantasy over too. You know.
Yeah, they got Final. Well, Final Fantasy's been on even the Xbox 360. It's not like that's not groundbreaking.
Well, no, but I mean, they're making headways into bringing more of the Japanese style games, you know, including their RPGs, over to the Xbox platform because that's why like they haven't been selling well. Like if you go over to Japan, you're mainly going to see Nintendo's and Sony stuff. And you're not seeing Xbox.
But see, they're doing this too late in the game because like anime fans already know where they need to be, either PlayStation or Nintendo. And now at this point, if they're going to do that, why get the system that's getting a little bit less? Like, sure, they got Attack on Titan. Sure, they got Sword Art Online. They got Dragon Ball Z. They're getting the new one My Hero Academia, which I was surprised to see that this morning. But it's like, sure, they're getting those games, but any Xbox-only fan is going to be like, okay, I guess that's cool. But anybody that's a legit anime fan that was looking forward to that most likely will have that on PC or PlayStation. So
yeah, but the thing is, you got to figure in the fact
too late into the game
is they have the most powerful console on the market right now, the Xbox One X.
That has done nothing for them. Like power matters to an extent. Like, because at first everyone thought power matters only, but Microsoft definitely proved that wrong by releasing the Xbox One X, and still nobody flocked over there. Like.
Dude, they sold really good numbers on that.
It did sell really, really well, but not compared to anybody else.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't sit there and come.
It usually doesn't come down to power, because the Wii in its generation clearly was like the weakest. And
well, even the Switch. The Switch is completely underpowered compared to the PlayStation and the Xbox. Well,
and the PS2 was pretty weak, and
PS2 was the weakest out of the three, and it did the best.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest, though. The PS2, like, when they brought out the Slim, the fact that they were able to still play the games that you could play and have it be as small as it was, I mean, okay, the PlayStation 2 was barely bigger than the Switch, okay? And for 10, 15 years ago, that was pretty damn good. But the main thing for the Switch is that it's portable. The main reason why the Switch is selling so well is because of the fact that it's portable.
And you can take that you cannot deny Nintendo's IP. Nintendo's IP, no matter what, I promise you, right here, right now, Nintendo can literally make a shoebox with a Raspberry Pi built inside of it, put their entire IP library on it for $300, and keep on releasing them the same Windows that they are now, and it would still outsell PlayStation and Microsoft today. Nintendo IP is what holds them together, and that's the same thing that Sony is trying to replicate, is getting their IP on the same level. But the thing that Sony is suffering doing that is they keep making games that have a legitimate, concrete ending, rather than making games that are loose. They'll do a 3-game trilogy, and then they end it. If you don't believe me, look at Uncharted. 4-game trilogy, they ended it. God of War, they ended it until recently.
Yeah, but even Uncharted, like, they had the other one that branched off, and it actually wasn't just 4 games, because they did bring out that one to the PS.
The PSP one sucked. No one cared about it. It wasn't even made by Naughty Dog.
Yeah, but it was still a case of that was one of their games, and then they also had Lost Legacy that was really good.
Was that other PSP one?
No, that was the one that they did after Uncharted 4.
The one with the women that nobody cared about. That game, yeah. The one that was rated as more of the same and didn't change. You just played as different characters.
That is like them sort of trying to be like Nintendo. Like, they keep rehashing it as if it's just, I don't know.
You can't rehash real-life people. Like, that ends eventually. Like, that literally ends. That comes to an end. God of War came to an end. They brought it back. That's gonna come to an end. They can't keep Kratos alive and that kid 13 the entire series.
You can't keep Kratos alive. He is immortal.
He's clearly old as shit in the last game if you didn't play it.
Well, yeah, but he was still fucking lifting trees and shit, you know?
But he was getting his ass handed to him compared to the shit he went through on the past games. Clearly his old age shows in that game. And if they make 3 God of War games, after the 3rd game, he will not live.
It changed the tone of that game so that it wasn't like the other ones where it was, you know, just straight like, oh, let me...
But by the time they get to God of War 3, he's not going to be... He's going to die. at the end of the game. Because Sony always does everything in cells of 3. The
No,
only game that broke that cycle was Uncharted.
Okay, but here's the thing, though, is...
And Uncharted had no identity until after the second game. Because its original identity was just Lara Croft.
Yep, Tomb Raider.
And it's still kind of just Tomb Raider. And Tomb Raider tried to change its identity, and what happened the minute Square Enix changed Tomb Raider's identity? Horizon Zero Dawn came out. Can we all say a prayer? No.
Oh, man. Oh,
So-
man.
Well, okay.
So it's like Sony's creativity. I've been gaming for about 20 years.
Hold
Sony's
on.
creativity
Oh,
is
God.
almost non-existent. I'm the only person that apparently notices them copy and rehash of other people's shit. So it's like, that's why I lie to rest when I say Nintendo, no matter what,
Oh, my God.
they can keep themselves sustained and alive based solely on their own IP. Nintendo put out a new Mario game. One Mario game. One Sonic. One Mario game. One Pokemon game. One Smash Brothers game. One game can sell multiple systems for Nintendo.
Right,
The
and that's
other
the
two
thing.
don't really have that.
And that's the thing, like with Mario, him alone, like he can be rehashed like Mario Tennis. I guarantee later in the year will be like Mario Party. Then next year will be like another Mario Kart, and then another like Mario spins off.
Yeah, because we're not going to
Along
see like
other
You have to
series that,
understand the
because
fact,
we're not going to
too.
see God of War tennis or Uncharted tennis. Aloy's tennis track it. Like, what are they going to do? Like,
Okay, but you're
they
comparing...
don't have basically the point I'm making, because Microsoft does have this because of the Halo franchise and Forge mode. Because Halo does sell systems, period. And Sony does have things that sell systems as well. But
Okay,
the point
but
I'm
hold on
making,
a
though, is like this whole power ordeal and stuff, like, that stuff actually doesn't even matter anymore. And that's why, like, console iterations are not going to really be a thing here pretty soon. Sony already came out and said, in a nutshell, they don't even plan on having a new console until 2022. Because graphics and power have not gone off that far as a console can be concerned and still be cost efficient. And Microsoft was the only one that made a cost efficient, legitimate 4K box. And it still wasn't cost efficient because that was $500.
No, but they've already won. They've already started running deals on it. They've dropped it down to 50, down 50 bucks. And
That's just the E3 special. They didn't say they were keeping it there. And
never know, though.
and this is
They
like,
might.
and it came out November 10th, my birthday, by the way. It came out November 10th. So all these months later, yeah, they better put some type of fucking discount on it. That's like, that's a no-brainer. It's like half a year later.
They dropped the price of the Xbox One X and the S, and I understand it's just for E3 and everything.
Well, they
but
dropped well, that's a strategic thing. Man, now I'm feeling like a GameStop manager again. That's a strategic thing. They don't want people to own that original big black Xbox. They don't want people to go buy that.
Well, no, I understand that.
So the
but
S has to take its place, and the way to make it take its place is to get rid of the other one off shelves, even though GameStop, they're scummy and douchebags, and they're going to resell it pre-owned anyway. But it's to take those big black boxes off the shelf and replace it with the S. So making the S the more affordable version of the Xbox One X. So moving forward, the games they make will still be properly compatible with that one, is what they're doing there. So the X has to drop in price. But with that being said, the X only dropped by $50, I might add, only for a limited time. So it's not.
But the thing is that may not stay. It may stay that way. They've done that before. They're like, oh, we're only going to do it for a small amount of time, and then it ended up being for a decent amount of time. It wasn't just this tiny little frame of time where they were like, oh, it's only on sale for this long. Like it very well, if they see that people are actually going after it and buying it, and they're seeing an increase in the numbers of sales, they may keep it at that, hoping to sell more and get more Xbox X's out on the market. But another thing too, okay, and I wanted to say this because I didn't get to say my piece back then. The only reason why Mario and even ones like as far as Halo and everything push console sales is because they are a long-standing IP. Like
with a lot
I
more
know
replay value than anything Sony could ever make.
Not necessarily.
Name 5 games other than Little Big Planet.
Okay, God of War.
That is a one-off storyline game. So once you put 40 hours into that game, and Pokemon's about 40 hours as well, so that gives you some perspective. So once you put 40 hours in that game, you deal with all the Valkyrie. Are you gonna play through it again?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because it's that fun. Like
that's the
enjoy
problem
playing that
Sony
game.
has there. They don't make open-ended games. Their games are one-off. So once again, bringing back I don't like mentioning GameStop. I hate that place. I was a manager here for 4 years. But let's bring back the old job that I used to have. Working at GameStop as an assistant manager, I see this game come out for PlayStation. It's always PlayStation, hilariously enough. This game comes out. It does really well. Everybody loves this game. It sells well, really high review scores. 2 months later, the game is $40 new, and then we're now selling it for $15 pre-owned, and you could guess what the new price is. So with that being said, it's because the game does not hold up past the first couple of months because it has an ending. It legitimately ends. It's not open-ended. And the ones they have that don't end and aren't open-ended, like Killzone, do we hear about Killzone anymore?
Well, no, because they wanted to create a different game. But they weren't completely close-ended. Like God of War, and I'm not going to sit here and spoil it because it's still new enough that I want other people to enjoy it, but that game is open-ended. Like there is definitely stuff that they could do to bring out another one, and I know for a fact they're
that's
going
to bring out a new game. Let's talk about the game that's out now and how long that can last throughout the year. So it was on the top UK. That's it.
Yeah, but you have to understand the fact is that Sony, like a lot of their first-party studios, thrive on making single-player campaign story-driven experiences. Like when you look at stuff like Xbox, okay, Xbox has Halo. Halo is decently well known for its story, but a lot of it is the multiplayer, and therefore when you have a multiplayer aspect to your game, it adds a shit ton more hours of replay. And same thing with Nintendo. Yeah, but the fact is like it obviously isn't hurting them. They have the highest selling console out on the market right now.
That's true. It's
2-to-1 compared to the Xbox.
And that's the reason, because the reason is because they have a lot more going on over there than Microsoft.
Well, but the thing is see, Sony doesn't let their first parties have to do anything because they're like, well, why? Our first parties are selling just well. So what we'll do is
we don't need to put as much effort because the third parties are releasing everything on our system since our competitor is getting none of it. So like, Sony doesn't even have to put in any work.
Well, it's not a case that they don't have to put out any work, but that's where those things thrive. And if you look, like Naughty Dog for Uncharted 4, they had a really good multiplayer setup. Like their multiplayer was really good. And they even did it a little bit with The Last of Us. Last of Us had a really good multiplayer. Like I know people that
Not many people liked either one, and they were both almost the same thing.
They had a good number of people playing on that for a while. Like it wasn't just a quick I'll play. Like no, they had some people that sunk some serious time into it. But
I feel sorry for
again, they paid the money for Activision mainly, which was their primary one, to get their shooters and everything that had the multiplayer aspects on their consoles, so they get their stuff first. That's how they pushed that. Like okay, we can pay the extra money to Activision to get the content for Call of Duty and Destiny and everything first before it hits Xbox. But then while we're getting all the numbers from those guys, we'll be over here making these fantastic single-player campaigns that people keep thinking are dead. They're doing everything right. So that's the only reason why they're surviving in this.
Well, I guess in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say, I don't know if anybody can 100% understand, is let's look 5 years from now at Sony. We don't have to look at Microsoft. We already know what the hell they're doing because they're doing nothing right now. But let's look at Sony 5 years from now. So we have our God of War out. Let's say 5 years from now we have the God of War 2. And then we have maybe a Last of Us that's not going to happen just yet because the next one's already coming out. So what are they going to do? Are they going to try and bust out a brand new IP? Or are they going to try and rehash something that we already know about? Microsoft's deciding what game they want to cancel. That's what I look at in the long run. I like to look at the now, and then I like to look at the future, not that little part in between. So you got all the stuff you're coming up with now. Are you busting ass to try and make a bunch of new IP, or are you gonna rehash some shit you already have? Or like, what are you gonna do? Because it's like with Nintendo, I don't have to think about that. We already know what they're going to do. We just think about how they're going to do it this time. But with everybody else, they make things that aren't open-ended. So it's like, what's next?
Well, the only
Like, that's the same thing. We can even talk about individual companies like Assassin's Creed or Far Cry or Final Fantasy. Those aren't open-ended. They have a franchise that they branch out and make new versions of under the same tagline. Sony doesn't do that.
Well, but Sony's tried jumping out with new IP. That's luckily where, like, you know, and obviously God of War was something where they brought it back, but they're showing that these games are still selling. You know, like if you look at Horizon Zero Dawn, yeah, you could sit back and make the claim that, you know, oh, it copies this from this game or copies this from this other game, but it still sold really, really well, and I would say it's probably one of the top games that I've ever played just due to its story. But the problem is when you get into the argument of, do you bring back, you know, do you spend all your money and efforts and everything bringing back older IP or create newer IP? It's a case of what do you think's gonna sell more in the long run. Like, I know they're doing this for the players that are playing the game, but they're also doing it for their investors, and because they in the end, it is their job and they have to make money off this. If you look at new IP, look at Boss Key. Boss Key came out with Lawbreakers, brand new IP. They came out with, you know, it followed some of the very similar.
Well, it seems like a lot of things Boss Key makes follows the same similar as someone else. So.
Well, but they've tried to put their own spin on it. Like even when they did Radical Heights, like that had it was following in the same vein as all these other battle royale style games, and they were trying to capitalize off that huge movement. But new IP, nobody really gave it that big of a chance, and now they're done for. That's their only problem with people coming out with new IP, is that if you come out with something like that and it's not a name that people recognize, well, now you're hoping and praying that people will take a chance on it.
But
you bring
here's
out
the
something...
advantage that Sony has here. With how many consoles they've sold. Because let's think about this from a logical standpoint or common sense. When it being the only system selling the way it is, so like half the fucking planet, if not more, owns the system. And then they strategically plan their game to come out, I don't know, when nothing else is coming out. People are going to look at it. And that's how they plan every game release. Nothing comes out around the time of any of their games. Ever. Period. Just like Nintendo, every single year they strategically release their games around the time of my birthday when nothing else is coming out. Nothing important's coming out. Or they release a game... oh, and thanks for joining us, that Weeaboo Kane. But they always release their games, like, for example, Nintendo. They always have a game E3 weekend. Always. What is it this year? It's Mario Tennis. So it's like, to release your game during a time where no one else is doing it, you're definitely going to, you know, sell your game. It's not that hard to do. Unless you're someone silly like, I don't know, Gearbox releasing their Battleborn at the exact same time as Overwatch, or like Titanfall releasing at the same time as Battlefield and Call of Duty, right smash dab in the middle of it, as if they were going to sell their game at all. Like,
but the thing you got to understand too is that there's a small period of time where you can release this, unless you keep, either you release it and hope to God that you can go up against, you know, somebody else, or you release it, you know, or you're delaying it and then you're pissing people off. I mean, in the long run, gamers as a whole are very hard to please anymore nowadays anyways. But I do get what you're saying. Like, you have to strategically find a way and find a time when you can release your game. That's why, like, all these people, if you noticed, when Red Dead Redemption 2, you know, came back and they were like, yeah, we're releasing at the end of October or whatever. Everybody's like, fuck. We're not going anywhere around that anytime after, because we know that's going to sell gangbusters. We're going to try to sell our game before that so we can get the selling numbers, and then, you know, Rockstar's game can drop. Like, that's being smart. But it's like,
you know, everybody, there were so many games that were launched, that were going to launch in October and September, and they all moved their games just because of Rockstar's game. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So
and
it's like that's why I say it's strategical to release your stuff when no one else is going to do it. And if you're someone like Sony Interactive and people see that it's a Sony exclusive game made by Sony, people are going to get scared and that game's going to sell well. So it doesn't even matter, you know, it almost doesn't even matter. Like, Rockstar's name gets put out, nobody wants their game around it. Nintendo has a big IP coming out, nobody puts their game around it. Sony has a big IP coming out, nobody puts their game around it. Call of Duty, no one puts their game around it. So it's like,
they've built up that name though. Like, if you see, you know, like when you hear about, you know, Super Smash Bros. Well, yeah, you better get the fuck out of that way, because that is a long-standing IP that's been around since the N64, and it's had time to build up this huge following. You know, like, you hear anything about a Zelda game or another Mario game or whatever, like, get the fuck out of there. Like, I can guarantee the only if Halo 6 gets announced for, you know, next year, there's a couple games that are gonna want to try to go toe to toe with it, and that would be like another Battlefield game and your Call of Duty. But that's because, again, long-standing IPs, they're like, okay, we can go up against this other big long-standing IP and not have it really affect our sales a whole lot. You know, like, we know our IP is going to sell just as well as theirs is. You know, it all depends on how strong of an IP and how long you've had that IP out there, you know.
That's true. All right, guys. Well, we are going to move on because that one was a really long one.
It was.
So let me quickly touch base. Is anybody at all excited for the new Forza game? And these are not pictures from it. So,
I am. I am super fucking hyped for it.
It says place in Japan, right?
Huh? We don't know anything about this game, like, at all. And I'm really happy because, well, one, it's Playground Games doing it. Super fucking hyped on it. They have done all of the Horizon series, and I would love it if it was over in Japan. That's where I actually want it to be. We know that they're bringing out a Horizons game. I'm just kind of curious because I have heard the rumor that Microsoft was going to kind of double down on some of their games. And it almost makes me wonder if, because the Horizons gameplay has been very similar over the last 3 games, you know, and even though, like, Horizons 3 was the best one out of that series, and I've played all 3 of them, it's still very samey, so I wonder if they're going to try to do something maybe to make that different than the other 3 so that it stands out, but still...
Don't do it. Microsoft has already shows what happens when they try to change a game to be different. We get Halo 5.
But the thing, though, is in a good way. Like, Microsoft might be like, listen, like, we want you to double down and do something different with it, but do it your way. Like, we're just going to kind of stay out of it because you guys have already proved that, you know, you guys are capable of making solid racing games.
And how well did that work with Halo 5? And
Halo 5's multiplayer was fantastic. Their story was just garbage, and we
how
all
well
told
did that
them
work for Fable?
I mean, Fable's being brought back by Playground Games.
Like, I think Gears of War was the only one I was really okay with. Like, I loved Gears of War.
Gears of War I was fine with too, and even they're trying to double down possibly on that as well. Because the big rumor going around with that is that they're gonna bring out a battle royale for that and for Halo, which I already posted what I thought was a really cool idea for a battle royale for Gears. I mean, in my own personal head and on paper, it sounded badass.
The only games I can think of that would sound really good with Battle Royale that don't have it, although I'm tired of seeing games with Battle Royale, is like Splatoon and Halo. Like, Splatoon and Halo would make great Battle Royale games.
See, I've only ever really played just because I haven't sunk a whole lot of time into Splatoon. Was the turf war thing. I could see that being a battle royale, but then when I sit back and I think about like how it's set up for other games, like when you look at PUBG and Fortnite and H1Z1 and everything, like, you start off with nothing and you go and you pick up your guns. So
you do that in the Splatoon story mode. They would just basically, it's like the same mechanic. Like, matter of fact, I feel it would work better for Splatoon than it would for most of these games that have it now. To be honest, because Splatoon's actual story and lore about the war that happens before the game starts, like the war that happens like 90 years in the past, easily Battle Royale material right there. Very easy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Because they didn't even have real weapons.
I don't know a whole lot about Splatoon's like lore or whatever, but I mean, even as far as like Halo, like I think Halo could definitely do that. I mean, somebody, just hearing like other people's E3 predictions and everything from other shows, like some of them were like, you could be the ODST, the orbital drop shock troopers, coming out of the sky and landing on this giant ass map and having, you know, like tanks and warthogs and everything, you know, or the scorpions.
You know what I'm thinking?
Huh?
I'm thinking Crackdown 3 was stopped so they can add Battle Royale to it.
I'm thinking that it's either that or the fact that their cloud-based destruction system wasn't quite working the way they wanted to on a larger scale. Because that was the main thing. That was like one of the big focal points that they kept pushing, was that their cloud-based destruction system for multiplayer was like, that was the hot shit. Like you could literally raise that entire city to the ground to where it was just flat rubble. And I think that was complete over-ambition, and I think they realized that when they brought it to a larger scale, and that's why they needed the extra time. But that's just my own speculation. Mm-hmm. It could very well be a Battle Royale. Like, I could definitely see them doing that with that game. But one of the other things that I've heard of is that they may announce possibly Halo 6 this year at E3 and not have it released till next year, but say that as an additive to Halo 5, them adding a Battle Royale style game to that.
Yeah, because the thing is Microsoft has come out and said that they have no plans on a Halo 6 yet. But what I would see them talking about at E3 is them remastering their Halo remaster.
Well, yeah,
that sounds so fucking silly, but they're remastering and fixing Halo Master Chief Collection.
Well, and I understand why, because when they've been pushing updates hardcore for that, like trying to get that game stabilized. And actually, I'll be honest with you, like
2 years later.
Well, but I mean, those games are still fantastic. Like, you can't sit back and tell me that even if they never, or you know, if they kept trying to update it, like you wouldn't keep going back and trying to play games like, you know, Halo 2 on the multiplayer where you're at Zanzibar jumping around. I for sure would, and I have jumped back in and I've tried playing the multiplayer, and it's a hell of a lot better. Like, it's not bad. The updates that they've done are fantastic, and I think the only thing that they were trying to redo was that they were going to give it the Xbox One X 4K updates to them. But yeah, I mean, I'd be okay with that too, just to kind of keep bringing some life to that. With it being 3 years since the last Halo has released, I'm literally willing to make a bet that they're going to announce Halo 6 or something Halo related this E3. Like, they can't not do it.
Well, that's Microsoft's doing a good job of breaking the can't thing, so we'll see what happens.
They have to. That's one of their first.
They literally only have one game scheduled to come out other than Forza, which is annual. So,
well, I mean, we still have yet to hear about Crackdown 3.
That's what I'm talking about. They're one game, and their one game already sounds like it might not even be a thing now. So it's like,
well, another one that they've got coming out is that Ori and the Whispers of the Little Wisps.
That game that's made by an indie developer that they're licensing out. That's also making the same game for Steam.
Yeah, but I mean, that's still that was one of their heavy hitters a long time ago too. So
I'm very sorry they need to rely on a $20 game in order to sustain themselves.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying they're relying on that to sustain themselves, but like I said, that's why I think that we'll hear something like Halo being brought out. You know, whether they, like I said, they do the Halo 6 announcement, and more than likely it's just gonna be a quick CGI trailer. I guarantee you, if they don't announce something from for Halo 5 as far as Battle Royale, it will definitely be in Halo 6. And you know for a fact that it's been a long time since we've had anything from Gears, so I would almost damn near expect us to hear something about that this E3 too.
Oh, and by the way, Link Eevee, I 100% agree with you. I want another Resident Evil game. Honestly, personally, I liked Resident Evil 5. I want another traditional Resident Evil game, though. Like one, I can't call it traditional. Traditional's like the original 3 on PS1. I want one of the over-the-shoulder Resident Evil 4 and 6 type, 4, 5, and 6 type style games. Like, no, I like the Silent Hill gameplay, but I don't want them to abandon the Resident Evil 4 style. I don't want them to abandon it, you know?
I wouldn't mind having them remaster that, but they've got to change the tank controls and like everything. Like, if they were gonna do something like what they did with like 1 and 2 or whatever, like you got to change the controls around, because yeah, and I like, even with 4, like I know they recently remastered that for the PlayStation 4.
More like re-released.
Yeah, that's literally
different in any
and the
form.
controls were just trash. Like, when I think of even a over-the-shoulder shooter game nowadays, it does not handle like that. Like, the controls were just garbage, and that's it. They need to give it the next generation control scheme. That's my only thing, that if they're gonna do something like that again, they've gotta change the controls. Because I didn't play. Excuse me. I did not play the most recent Resident Evil game, mainly because I freaking tried playing it a little bit over at my buddy's house, and it scared the ever-living shit out of me. But I mean, that game sold really, really well. But yeah, I mean, if they were gonna go back, they gotta change something up with the controls. That's my only beef on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see, even if it's like the Silent Hill style gameplay. Regardless, I want a Resident Evil game again. Although it would be nice if they would not act like the Silent Hill style gameplay was theirs, because I like credibility, and they need to put credit where it's due. That gameplay style worked really well for them, and they had nothing to say about the original development. So, you know, shame on them for that one. But that's just my personal opinion, and my opinion doesn't matter because I'm just some guy on the internet. At the end of the day, I'm just a guy on the internet. But either way, I guess we are going to move on now and talk about Smash Brothers for the Nintendo Switch. So there's not that much we can touch base on. It'll pretty much become like a one big hype stream, but it's Smash Brothers, and we need to get hype. You know what I mean? So, although not that kind of hype. I don't know. I'm not that big into like super hype and everybody like, you know, hyping things up, and then your channel's based on hype, and that kind of drives me crazy. But but either way though, the new Smash Brothers game obviously has a lot of people intrigued as to what characters will come in the game, what characters won't be in the game, and blah 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 blah. But you know, I guess before we get to that, Link Eevee just said something that I need to mention. That new Team Sonic Racers, I am thoroughly unimpressed with it. It's not even supposed to be like Sonic All-Star Racers, which is what I would have liked it to be like. Because the All-Star Racers Transform was really, really, really good. The game was not trying to be Mario Kart. That one specifically, All-Star Racers Transform, was not trying to be Mario Kart in any form. Like, it was a fast-paced racing game with elements to screw the other person over, and not in the same fashion as Mario Kart, because in Mario Kart, when you get hurt, your kart stops moving. On the Sonic All-Star Racers Transform, when you hurt someone, you still are moving. It just hinders you in some way, like turning your vehicle backwards and blah, blah, blah. But the game was all about speed, and I will stream that on the channel for you guys, for anyone that has not seen the game or played it. All-Star Racers Transform is a phenomenal game, and the fact that this new game is completely abandoning everything they made with the last one baffles the hell out of me.
Yeah, that's really weird. Like, why did they? Because the cast, it just seems to be only Sonic characters.
And the game is supposed to be team-based in racing. So, for example, let's say it's 4v4 teams, right? So let's say all of us are playing together. Let's say the 3 of us are playing and Master Smash is playing. So all of us are playing this new team, Sonic Racers. Let's say I get first place, Will, you get 5th, David gets 9th, and Master Smash gets 7th. Well, my first place doesn't fucking matter now, because once all the scores add up, all of us collectively, we're in 4th place. And that's how the game works. That's legitimately how they explained it.
Ooh, that sounds like a Mario Kart mode. Like, that just sounds like a gimmick that should just be a mode.
Yeah, so the game is based off of that. It's team racing legitimately. So if your team loses just because 2 assholes in the back, like
yeah.
Like I'm not about that. I don't know. When they showed that
mention, you'd never get in first place because
your team suck.
Even if you had 4 people playing, you had the top 4 spots, it's still collectively going to drop you lower than first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you'd probably be like in 3rd place overall.
So
it's kind of weird.
And what's funny you say that, Link Eevee, it's actually being made by the same team that did Crash Team Racing.
Yeah.
So that's another funny thing about that, about the comment you made. But yeah, I'm gonna buy the game regardless. I'm a huge freaking Sonic fan. I've been a Sonic fan for about 20 years. I'm 25, by the way. So I'm a Sonic fan. Core to the heart Sonic fan. I love Sonic. I buy every game that comes out. I appreciate every game that comes out other than Forces. So I'm gonna be buying the game regardless. So we'll just see how it turns out. I mean, right now it's just
because, like, to your point where they showed the R, it's kind of like clickbait. Like, that R is styled like exactly the same after
Sonic R.
Sonic R. So
yeah,
it's like, I feel kind of, I don't know,
lied to again, because Sega lied to me twice at this point. But I'm just not feeling it. I don't know. If I thought when they said they were making a Sonic racing game, I was literally praying and hoping it was going to be a game on foot. And you know what? Sumo Digital came out and said as to why they're going to be in a vehicle.
Why?
Because Sonic would win and the game would be no fun. So it puts everybody on the same level by putting him in a car. Bullshit. Tell that to Sonic R. Tell that to Sonic R. Like, really?
Right.
I don't know. I think that's...
Except Super Sonic. I think he was broken. But yeah.
Super Sonic was way too fast. But see, Super Sonic and Metal Sonic were almost the same speed. No, not Metal Sonic. Metal Knuckles. So it's like...
yeah. But still, yeah, it's... Maybe I'm just being like a fanboy, like a nostalgia person. But
you're a fanboy.
Yeah, I'm just being a fanboy. But I want that music, that cheesy love music.
Oh yeah, take me back in time. Oh my god, Sonic R had terrible music, but it was so good.
Yeah, the music, it was like the worst stuff I ever heard, but it was good.
Yeah, just like on Sonic and the Secret Rings, the final boss. No, the Sonic and the Black Knight, the final boss fight music was the same singer from Sonic R. For anybody that beat that game, same singer. But anyway, I guess now we're finally gonna move on to Smash properly. Now this is something that a lot of channels do. It's really lame, but at the same time it is kind of fun. So I'm not gonna harp on it and be a butthole. And these are just what ifs. It's not gonna be a thing. It's not gonna be a thing. It'll never be a thing. I'm not gonna hype it up to be a thing for everybody that's here. They're not rumors. This is just us being fans. So, David, name 3 characters you would like to actually show up in a Smash game in the future.
Oh, fuck. I wasn't prepared for this.
He did the voice and everything.
Oh, and by the way, guys, everybody in the chat, name 3 characters you would like to see in a Smash Brothers game in the future. Obviously, they probably won't make it to the game, but your boy Andy here likes modding video games. And knowing myself, I would literally mod them into the game just so you guys can see them. So just name 3 characters at least that you would like to see in Smash. So what would you see, David?
I would definitely like to see Crash Bandicoot. I think Crash Bandicoot would be awesome. He's definitely got a move set. You know, you could give him some extra stuff that he could do, but definitely like the spinning stuff would be kind of cool. And him like jumping, you know, maybe use the Muka Muka mask.
I just want him to die. Like, I just want to hear him die.
Oh, yeah.
Like, knock him off the cliff.
And then you could even add other characters from him. You could add, God, what the fuck is his sister's name? I can't even think of her name right now. Brain fart. Yes, Coco, thank you. You could add her in there. It'll never happen just because Microsoft holds their first-party IPs to the fucking chest. Master Chief would be baller to have in there. I think that would be super
He would literally
insane.
just be like a Solid Snake rehash.
Yeah, but, I mean, they had Solid Snake in there and people liked him, and where is he now?
Konami, that's why. Because Konami is literally... Okay, everybody shit talks
Konami's
EA.
the devil.
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody shit talks EA, but they ain't got shit on Konami. Like...
It's a...
I hate them both evenly.
Like, Konami
me
is
too.
probably...
It's like they both compete to see, like, hey, let's see which one of us can be the worst.
Yeah, Konami is an awful, awful company. Like, my God, are they bad.
But, I'll tell you, another character,
I'll tell you
just
football.
because since we're talking about EA, love to see a Yoda. I
Okay.
think Yoda would be baller to throw in there, or Darth Vader.
If they even have the rights to Yoda by the time it comes out.
Yeah, right?
Well, I mean, that wouldn't
Actually,
be
they
EA
would.
that they'd be getting it off of. They could get that off Disney.
EA's supposed to have Yoda. EA's supposed to have Star Wars for the next 5 years.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
how
I
many
just wanted
games
to
have
make
they
a joke about
released?
Disney.
2.
How
Respawn
many games have
got-
been canceled? 3.
Well, Respawn's supposed to still be working on theirs. They canceled the one that Amy Hennig was working on, although they still say that they're working. They've got another team working on another Star Wars thing. And the first 2 games that they have released, the only 2 games they have released, one was super bare bones, even though it was really pretty to look at. And the second one was really pretty to look at. And then they threw microtransactions and pissed everybody and their sister off. So it's like EA has not handled that IP very well at all, and it would not surprise me if when EA decides that they want to try to renew it or whatever, if Disney goes, no.
I think Disney is so overpowered.
We've seen how you handle your IP. We're gonna go to somebody else. Maybe
Yeah.
have Activision do it or something. At least they handle it better.
I just think Disney is so overpowered. They can be like, screw the 5 years and give it
Dude,
back.
Disney's gonna buy out Fox. Like,
Yeah.
come on now.
No, because someone outbid them at one point, I remember, and it was scary. Like, I was like, I want the X-Men in MCU. But
Anybody that tries to buy out Disney better be fucking bringing in like all these other banks or something, or be pulling loans out their ass, because Disney's got infinite money. But
All right.
yeah,
Hopefully-
those are my 3. So
I guess what are your 3, Will?
Oh man, well, Sephiroth, because he's the best villain ever. Plus Cloud's in there, and just keep the Final Fantasy VII thing going. And I think Final Fantasy VII Remake is viable for the Switch, anyways. I think Noctis could show up, but like I know that this, like, I'm trying to make it sound more like, oh, this could really happen, but it's more of what I want to happen. But Noctis, I think. Because with Square Enix and like modern Final Fantasy games, they just sort of just rehash them until they use them as like marketing tool.
Yeah.
So like, what's a better marketing tool than like have the character show up in Smash? And he's already in Tekken. So,
Well, it's already. I believe it's confirmed, but it's already confirmed that Cloud's still going to be there because it's supposed to have the original assets from Smash Wii U. So those characters should all still be there. Should. Keyword is should.
Right. I think we're gonna get a lot more Square Enix, but I think Noctis before Sora. So, Snake, obviously, I want him back because I think he's really cool. Joker from Persona 5, even though I don't think that'd happen, but I would really like it.
I don't know when we can get like Cloud and Ryu, anything can happen.
Right.
So
Right.
Those 2 are just completely random. See, my characters are lame. You guys have like interesting characters. The ones I chose.
I got one more. Hold on. Freaking because I'm just a fanboy of the character. Freaking All Might. He just be so broken.
All Might. Yeah, a lot of people keep saying Goku. Like they really want Goku in Smash.
Dude, I could see Goku in Smash.
I modded Goku into Smash. I even have a video on the channel for that. So it's like, I can understand that one.
Yeah.
But
I'd be for it.
Man, see, my characters are like characters that... Not that I'm dissing anyone. My characters are the ones that could appear in Smash, so mine are really boring. Like, I didn't choose anything crazy, because yeah, I have nothing crazy. Like, everything I chose literally could end up in Smash. Mine are, what, either one of the three, Tails, Shadow, or Knuckles. Pretty boring, right? Tails, Shadow, or Knuckles.
Well, mainly because they've already had Sonic in it, so it's like, those are super easy to say that they would go in there.
Well, see, mentioning my characters would be so pointless because I believe that Smash Brothers should have at least 3 characters from each franchise. That's what I believe. So it's like, and that's not something that they have. You know, they have.
Well, I think the only reason for that though is because, like, if you look when they had Fox and then they had Falco in there, they handled very similarly. Like, there was not a whole lot of difference between the two. So I think if you had 3 characters, it's literally like copy and pasting just to say you have the roster.
Not everybody plays the same. Like, Shadow would play exactly like Sonic, sure, but Knuckles and Tails would not. Period. They can't. They're not even the same. They're just not able to. That's not a thing.
No, but I mean, yeah, but if you look at, like, when you look at Roy and Marth, like, again,
well, that's their fault for putting all those damn Fire Emblem characters. Like,
well,
no joke,
they
in the storyline
exactly
for Fire Emblem, it's written that 4 of the characters use the exact same sword style. Like,
but the thing is, they handled exactly like Link.
Like, Chrom like Link.
Yeah.
Who handled like Link?
Roy and Marth.
No, they didn't.
Oh, yes, they did.
Like Link? Hell no!
Yes, they did.
Not even close.
Oh, yeah. Boy. Both of them are sword... Yeah, no.
Like
all
Link?
3 of them are sword wielders. No.
Like Link? What?
Yes.
No.
What?
Link is not even... Roy and Marth are nothing like Link. Like, in any form. They're not even the same.
No, I thought when I played it, what was that, Melee, that they handled super similarly. What? Yes. Same thing as, like,
are we talking about Smash here?
Mario and Luigi, like, 2 in the same. They do the same thing. There was no, like, I understand it's Mario.
No, they don't.
It's a Mario. Yeah, they do.
Somebody hadn't played Smash in a while. Somebody
has played Smash in a while.
Boy, where's my DS? Because I'm not hooking up the Wii U. Like, they're not. Like, they're not.
Mario and Luigi both handle the same. And for Cole saying the Blizzard characters, I could see maybe some of the more iconic ones going in there. Like like Tracer, or even like a Reinhardt maybe.
So Nicholas says that he's hearing a rumor that there's supposed to be hero versus villain theme for Smash Brothers, and this could hint for a story mode of some sort. That would actually be really cool, Nicholas. And that would be a change of pace as well.
Now let me ask you this though, just hearing about that, do you think that with them doing the heroes versus villains character matchup for a storyline that it would be going too close to Injustice?
No, because Nintendo doesn't give a shit and they do everything on their own case. Like, matter of fact, who cares about what Warner Brothers is doing with Injustice? Like, that's like so far unrelated.
Oh, that ain't even...
Like, they have
Warner
nothing
Brothers.
on Nintendo in any form. They have, like, nothing on Nintendo in any form. So, like, anything they're doing doesn't even matter.
Well, I'm just saying, like, as far as, like, copying that, like, that's already been done with the Injustice series. And it's,
and
again...
Smash Brothers is much bigger, so people forget that even happened.
Well, Smash Brothers 2 is... You can have freaking, what... like 8 characters all at once on one screen, whereas Injustice is just really one-on-one.
I don't think they'd be comparable in any form.
Well, I mean, just as far as like that concept of like taking your evil characters, putting them up, you know, and pinning them up against your good characters. Not like straight, you know, comparison to them. Edward Norton says ice climbers. That's funny.
Now, Ice Climbers is said to be in the game. Ridley is said to be in the game, and there's obviously another form of Link that are an updated one, and then the Inklings that we already know about.
I think
also,
they're gonna pretty much throw every character into this.
Thanks for subscribing, Nicholas, by the way. And Nicholas did say something about Snake being put in there. Only reason why I don't see that happening is because Sony doesn't even... Microsoft sucks. That had nothing to do with it either. My brain's not working. Nintendo does not like Konami.
Well, Konami just isn't doing anything with that freaking franchise.
Yeah, and also Konami is doing a great job of butchering themselves. But the characters that I'm aware of that might get in there, just things I've been hearing at work every now and then. It's nothing concrete. I'm not leaking anything. I'm not putting any real information out there. It's just things that I keep hearing fly by at work. There has been a rumor about the Castlevania character being put on Smash.
Simon Belmont?
Yeah. And then there's also Lloyd Irving from the Tales series, because he's the most popular Tales character. They're talking about them being put on there because Bandai Namco are the ones working on the game, or at least collabing with the game like they did on the Wii U. So there are a few things that that have been kind of flying around that I've been hearing myself. And just as reference, guys, for anyone that doesn't know, I am a rep for Nintendo. But one thing that I am confused about what you said, Nicholas, is the Minecraft thing. Could you enlighten me on that? Because I'm a little... Let me read this again. Because... Can you talk about the rumor that states that Snake and that Minecraft might make an appearance? Yeah, tell me something about Minecraft, because that I'm a little lost on when you said that. I'm a tiny bit lost on that.
I guess the guy Steve, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you another couple characters that would be kind of cool to see, just as far as like the Capcom and everything, is like a generic. Well, you could throw Mega Man in there too. I don't know if he's been in prior ones. I think he's
on the last one, but it wasn't X. It was just regular Mega Man.
You could throw like one of the Monster Hunter characters in there.
They could.
But I will tell you, it would probably be the same thing as like it would handle just like all the other Sword Fighter ones.
None of them handle the same. None of them handle the same.
They all handle the same.
Oh
my god. None of the Sword Fighters are the same. None of them. None of them. The only ones that are, the only Sword Fighters that are the same thing, the only ones are Marth and Lucina. And technically Roy, because they changed him a little bit, but he's still the same. They're the only three. Only three. Only three. Mario and Luigi are not the same. Mario's forward smash is a cape. Luigi's forward smash is he launches himself like Pikachu. Like...
Technically the same damn character.
You're wrong! You're wrong! Oh my god, I hate you. Oh my god. What? The characters that are clones are Marth and Lucina. Marth and Lucina. There's Captain Falcon and Ganondorf. There's Marth and Lucina, Captain Falcon and Ganondorf.
Well, I forgot Bayonetta's gonna be in it. That's the game I was trying to say that was kind of like Devil May Cry.
It is.
Like it has like that same...
Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, God of War, they're all kind of the same thing. The original God of War before this new one. And Mario, Dr. Mario, thank you, Master Smash, they're the same. Link and Toon Link are somewhat similar, although Toon Link has a lot of changes because he's smaller, different characters, attacks, his hitboxes are different. But no, the Sword Fighters are not the same. It's been a little while since you played Smash. What was the last one you played? 64? I understand if it was Smash 64.
I played Brawl.
How do you see them as the same? I'm going to kill him. I should like pull up a video of their move lists so you can change your mind.
No.
I hate you.
Sticking to it.
Oh my god. Anyway, so let's see what everybody... Dark Pit and Pit. Fox and Nah, Fox and Falco are actually different. Fox and Falco are different now. They were just yes, on Smash Wii U, Fox and Falco are different characters now.
Okay.
If you didn't
Played
know.
by no one.
Good God. People did play it. That's the reason why people bought a Wii U. You butthole. And even then, Smash 3DS, which was the same game. So, you know.
I almost bought Smash 3DS.
So let's see. People said they want... Let's see what some people said here. Microsoft Banjo. Yes, that would be awesome. They could put King K. Rool in Donkey Kong. Oh, yeah, King K. Rool would be sweet as well. As a matter of fact, a lot of people voted for King K. Rool for Smash Wii U. And he was like one of the top votes next to like Ridley. Let's see, someone else. Oh, and by the way, King K. Rool was said by Frank the Tank. And Master Smash said Banjo. Frank the Tank also said Ditto. Master Smash wants 3 more Pokemon from the franchise. Cole wants Blizzard characters. Master Smash says that he does not want Lucina, Wii Fit Trainer, Dark Pit, Dr. Mario, Greninja, or Bowser in the game anymore. I think that's where it kind of stops. Everybody else stopped putting in their characters. Nicholas says an appearance as an Ascent trophy in a stage or even a character. Nicholas, I think Steve from Minecraft would make an awesome assist trophy. Matter of fact, Minecraft weapons would be awesome as well. Like there's actually a lot of things they could do as far as Minecraft is concerned for Smash. Now, one thing I would like for them to do is I would not want Steve on the game in any form personally. What I would like for them to have is a Minecraft level. I feel like that would be really, really cool because the terrain could be different every single time. I personally think a Minecraft level would be cool, or at least like a weapon or a trophy. Those would be really, really cool. But Steve is a playable character. I don't know about that. That'd be a weird one. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Why did Fox have 2 clones in Brawl? Wolf. Wolf was still slightly different. Wolf was still slightly different, to be really honest.
I don't know who Wolf was.
Well, because you didn't play it. See, did you know the character would smash the paddles from ping pong, the first video games ever created? Boy, I remember back in the day for Smash Bros. Melee, there were rumors going around that you were able to get the Master Hand as a playable character. I want him to be in the game, like, for realsies.
Yeah, I thought about that too, because that was one of the things that I pushed. I was like actually really hoping was like one of the secret characters in the 64 version was that you could be the Master Hand.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually kind of upset when it was Ness, because I was like, at that point in time, I didn't know who Ness was, and I'm like, who the fuck is this little kid that shoots lightning out of his finger? I'm like, when I could be the fucking Master Hand and just start smacking people across the freaking board.
Leo.
Frank says you can play the Master Hand on GameCube. I did not have a GameCube, so I can't.
Yeah, I played that game for hours and legitimately never got to play as Master Hand. I don't think that's a thing, personally, but... And, I mean, if you say you can, that sounds really fake. But if you say you can, I will look into that and see if I can do it. Because I don't know.
And Mr. Sandoval... where you say like the Master Hand has to defeat the entire roster. I mean, you kind of, I don't know. I could see that. Like, I mean, if it was an unlockable character, there wouldn't have to be a mode for it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, either way, that's a weird one. But yeah, guys, I was touching base on the mod I was doing. This is the video for it. It's like 7 seconds long. But I was literally trying to add Goku to the game. I got his voice and everything, just not the animations. But that was like literally as far as I got on that mod, so I'm still kind of working on it. But yeah. So if you guys want to see characters in Smash Wii U for now until, you know, this new Smash comes out and I can mod that one, definitely let me know, because I love modding video games and adding things that aren't supposed to be there. That's like my favorite thing to do. So I guess we will move on. Waluigi. Yeah, Waluigi would be a great Smash character. But yeah, let's move on to the last topic, and that's Pokemon Let's Go. Which is my absolute favorite topic out of all of these, because you can never be too hyped for Pokemon Let's Go. Pokemon Let's Go is a phenomenal idea. I have so many theories and stuff behind what they can do with that game moving forward. Now, they said the mainline Pokemon game will be out next year.
Yep.
And so...
second half of 2019.
Yep. So, with Pokemon Let's Go's introduction, if it does well, which it will because it has Pokemon behind its name, it literally...
sell gangbusters.
Well, it literally gives a chance where they can have 2 games going at the same time. You'll get your mainline Pokemon game. The year after that, you get Pokemon Let's Go 2. Mainline Pokemon game, next Pokemon Let's Go. And since it's related to Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Go, they're bringing out new Pokemon every time. So this first game focuses on Kanto. So there could be either an update or a new Pokemon Let's Go game that focuses on Hoenn. And they can continue to make a new game. So that's a way to get a brand new remaster of an old Pokemon game through the Pokemon Let's Go franchise. And that's what really excites me the most about Pokemon Let's Go.
Well, and it's... Pokemon Let's Go had me really hyped when I first saw it. I was like, oh my god, like, it's 3D, it's, you know, it's...
What's wrong?
Just coming across Pokemon in the wild, like, you know, like, this is super cool, and I even liked, like, the catching mechanics of Go. Like, I thought that was kind of really cool. The only thing that I am curious about is, you know, like, okay, if I'm just running around catching Pokemon, like, that's fine and all. And they did say that the first 150 Pokemon were going to be in the game. So you're going to be able to catch everything. But what's, like, the longevity of the game? You know, like, are you going to have gyms? Are you going to be able to, you know, to battle these things? Is it going to be a better battling system than what you have on Go? And it was like, from what they showed, it does look like you have, like, the 4 moves and everything. You know, but it's like, okay, well, how is that going to, you know, go into the game long? You know, like, are you going to be able to level your Pokemon up since you can't battle Pokemon in the wild?
Let's get this mutual understanding, because a lot of people are confused about that. The game, and I'm going to address what you said as well. The game is still a Pokemon game, period. No matter how you look at it, it's still a core Pokemon game.
And they have called it an RPG, so...
It is still a Pokemon game. It is not any different. It still has a storyline. It's based off of Pokemon Yellow. Still has a regular story. That was the point of the cutscenes you saw within the trailer. It still has a story. It still plays like a regular Pokemon game. The only change they made to the game is the way you capture Pokemon and deal with wild battles. That's the only change. With that being said, the way I play Pokemon is exactly the same way they have it set up in this game. I'm playing Pokemon Alpha Sapphire right now. And the way I play Pokemon games, and it's been like this since I was in 1st grade playing Pokemon. If I already caught that Pokemon in the wild, I'm not going to fight it. I don't do wild Pokemon battles. Every time I get into a wild battle, I run away. Period. I literally do not. For anybody that has watched me play a Pokemon game here on the channel, assuming those streams are still up, I legitimately do not battle wild Pokemon ever. I always escape if I don't want to catch it or if I already have caught it. So with that being said, that would not change in this game, and the fact that I don't have to battle them at all now literally just makes the game the way I already play it. So when you get into the encounter, do you want this Pokemon? No? Run away. Because there are enough trainer battles to tie you over. There's enough stuff to tie you over in the game. And with that being said, wild Pokemon encounters have been made and enhanced, in my opinion, as far as, like, in the original games, you walk through the grass, you walk in a cave, you get stopped every few seconds for a Pokemon encounter. But now, the Pokemon encounters are still the same. You can just see the Pokemon out in the wild now. So the Pokemon will show up. You see a Pidgey there, you see a Pidgey there, you see a Rattata there. Just walk around them. But it doesn't mean you can't accidentally run into them, because the trailer shows a Pokemon pop up, and then another Pokemon disappear, and another one pops up in a different spot in the grass. So it's still random encounters in the grass. If you guys really pay attention to that trailer, you can see that. If I can find that trailer, I'll gladly pull it up, because I think it's on my computer somewhere. But that's literally the way that goes now. But fundamentally, the game is still a core Pokemon game, and that is what they explained. That it's still a regular Pokemon game. They're trying to bring in those lapsed players, and they're trying to bring in a game that's a little bit easier for people to play. And anybody here that's played Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, they are the easiest Pokemon games in the entire franchise. And with it being Pokemon's anniversary for Pokemon Yellow, it was literally the best for them to bring out the original game so that they can bring back those old players, and also as a... This is sort of a diss to Nintendo, but as a way for them to try and be slick and re-release old video games. This is a way they can do it. Be slick and re-release old video games in the Pokemon Let's Go name. So it could easily Let's Go Totodile or whatever they do with the future franchises. Everybody's asking for a Diamond and Pearl remake. This is your chance to get that. So...
Well, and they don't even necessarily have to do a Diamond and Pearl remake. I mean, you could easily just... Huh?
People are asking for it.
Yeah, but you could just add it on.
Remake... Well, no, if you didn't know, they remake Pokemon games every few years. Like, we get a remake. The last one we got was Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby.
Yeah.
And people are now asking, hey, when is Diamond and Pearl? Well, if they do Diamond and Pearl, it'll be in the Let's Go formula, and you can bet your ass it will be. And they're already stated they're going to be reusing assets from this game on the mainline game. So, even if Wild Encounters will be a thing in Pokemon 2019, I bet you capturing will be the same thing as it is on this game. Because that's the only thing it's missing is the Wild Encounter battles. That's the only thing this game is missing from a core Pokemon game. Otherwise, there's no difference. And people are up in arms as if the game is incredibly different, and it's not. They made one little change, and everybody's all upset about it. It's not that big of a change. Like, how often do you fight a wild Pokemon? Please, everyone tell me. How often do you? It's not very often. If your Pokemon's level 15 and a level 10 comes up to you, or a level 3 comes up to you, are you really inclined to attack it every single time? There's something wrong with you if you do. David.
I do.
Like, why? I'm level 20-something. Why am I going to kill this level?
Experience either way.
That experience doesn't matter if you're level 20, you kill a level 10, you're not getting anything out of that.
Yeah, but every little bit counts.
Boy, you get stopped every few seconds inside of a cave. Have you played Pokemon Red?
Oh, but I'll battle everybody too. That's why
Have you played Pokemon Red, though?
Yeah, I've played Red, Blue, Yellow.
Do you not remember Mount Moon? Do you know how many Zubat you encounter before you get out of Mount Moon? So you're telling me you fight every single Zubat?
Not every single one. I mean, after a while, I'm like, okay, I just want to get out of this damn cave. But like,
okay, so with that point being said, eliminating having to battle them makes it a little bit easier, because that's the one thing Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow suffered that people don't seem to remember. The people that remember around my age, the people that are complaining are much younger. They're 16 right now, whatever. People that feel entitled to give their opinion about something they didn't grow up with. Now, here's the thing. Growing up with Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, you got attacked by Pokemon constantly, no matter what. You took one step, attacked. You got out of that battle. Took another step, attacked. Eliminating that makes the game much better.
Yeah, but then where's your grind coming in? Because that's
coming in from trainer battles. The game had its fair number of trainer battles. You know how many trainer battles I avoided in that game? It's disgusting. And I hate in these new games where you go into a gym and you have to fight everybody in there. Like, there's enough trainer battles. And don't worry, any max repels exist. Thank you. And I always bought repels. I had to buy repels. Now you can avoid battle. You can avoid Pokemon. Like, you don't have to rely on the random trainer battles. You don't have to have them. Like, no, not trainer, wild Pokemon encounters. You do not have to battle them. I don't. Like, and when you guys see me do my Nuzlocke stream, and even like a regular stream, it doesn't even have to be Nuzlocke. When Pokemon Month comes up in 15 days, you will see the way I play Pokemon. I avoid so much. I even try to avoid trainers. I just want to go to the gym and get my badge. That's all I care about. So it's like, if I have to fight trainers, fine. But wild Pokemon, if I'm not capturing it, I'm not killing it. And that was like a huge feel. I need to read what everybody else said in the chat. Let me read what you guys said in the chat before I pull this trailer up. Still wonders if they can make new Pokemon because of writer's block. I wouldn't say writer's block would be an issue. It's just like with anime. You wonder where they're getting their storylines and stuff from because so many different types of stories have been done. It's not too hard for them to make a story with Pokemon, to be very honest, because it's so open-ended. I mean, in the end of the day, if you really think about it though, Nicholas, every single Pokemon game always, other than Pokemon Red and Blue, always results in whatever evil douchebag is trying to do is take over or destroy the world. So at the end of the day, they reuse that story every single time. Like, Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby, they wanted to use Kyogre and Groudon to destroy the world and start a new beginning. Pokemon X, same deal, destroy the world, start a new beginning. It's the same story every single time, so yeah. Let's see, makes up for WoW. Pokemon is the multiplayer mode, and that is true. Don't count Mew out. Mew's probably going to be in there. In the main games, you don't need to spend real money to buy equipment like Pokemon Go. And Edward, the game's not going to have those microtransactions either. You still go to the Pokemart to buy Pokeballs. This game's not being built like a phone game, Edward. It's not being built like a phone game at all. It's still going to play like a regular Pokemon game. It's not going to have those kind of microtransactions. They've already come out and said that. Like in that trailer when the dude had 60 Pokeballs or whatever. No. That's not something you're going to have to worry about. They would have a huge problem if they tried to implement microtransactions of that magnitude into the game. That would cause a huge problem. So that's not something you're going to have to worry about, like, at all. Like, you can rest assured on that. Let's see. They don't want to counter Pokemon. Put a repel on it. Yes. Stop playing Pokemon Go very late around the time the higher level. I actually kind of enjoy Pokemon Go still, even though I barely turn it on. Track Pokemon. Can I transfer items from... That's a good question, Master Smash. You can transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go over to the actual game, and same thing vice versa. I don't know about items. That's a good question. Although, if you could do items, that would be cool. Because collecting... Yeah, if you could do items, that would be really, really cool. Actually, that'd be really, really fucking cool. But either way, what are your overall thoughts on Pokemon Let's Go? Well,
when it comes to like just Pokemon in general, like I've never played a single game, and I think it's perfect for me because it starts with yellow.
Yep. And
it's very, very beginner friendly. So it's, for me, it's perfect. And like you said, and I saw, like I was watching the stream while I wasn't here. I completely agree on the random encounters. Like if I were to just criticize turn-based RPGs as like a whole genre, I think random encounters are like one of the worst aspects. I still like it. Like it still has its charm. But when it comes to Pokemon, I kind of want to immerse myself. So if anything, I think it's better that the random encounters are gone.
Like, you know how upset I was as a kid every time I get running, like I'm in Mount Moon. Mount Moon's the worst one. Or even when you're like in the cave going to the Elite Four. That is... I know most of you are really, really young and probably didn't experience the original version of Pokemon Red and Blue. Maybe you downloaded it to your 3DS. But no joke, when you're on the way to get Articuno, you're on the way to the Pokemon League, and you get stopped literally 6 times in 1 minute. And then all your Pokemon get slaughtered before you even get there, because some of them don't even let you run away. That shit bothers me. Like, that's not something I want to experience again. See, when I think about Pokemon growing up, it's all good memories. But when I think about the random encounters and the fact that they're finally not in the game, that literally is really, really relieving to me. Like, that's just me. A lot of people like random battles. People like when Pokemon come up and they're like 10 levels above it and they slaughter it because they're soulless assholes. But personally, I run away from everything. I don't see the point. If I'm not going to capture it, I'm wasting my time. So with that being said, having to deal with that, going up to the Elite Four, I remember that made me, when I was a kid, that literally made me cry one time. I was on the way to Articuno, I had all my Pokemon, I'm going through there, a couple Pokemon wouldn't let me run away, and they kicked the shit out of me, and I had to go all the way back to the beginning. It took an hour and a half to go through that cave. You know what it's like to get to the end and have to start over because you were forced into a battle and you had to stay there? Like, that's triggering. Yeah. That's beyond triggering. I don't want to run into that again, so I'm okay with the fact that they got rid of it.
Yeah, just random encounter. Like, that's why, because Project Octopath Traveler, that's like my most anticipated game of all year. And the one thing I don't like is just stagnant of the whole RPG genre. I'm like exploring the world. I'm like, oh god, this music is so good. The lighting and the effects and the engine and everything about it just so beautiful. Oh, battle.
Yep.
Meet this guy to continue to immerse yourself in the game, and then maybe you can do it for like 30 seconds. Like, you know, but overall, I think it's all right, especially for Pokemon. Like for me, I would rather cruise through it because there's a lot I have to catch up on as someone who's never played Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and even then, guys, it's not the first time. Why this is people seem to forget, like when it comes to mainline Pokemon games or games that are on console that are Pokemon. People seem to forget that Pokemon Gale of Darkness and Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube were a thing. Those were RPG adventure Pokemon games similar to the handhelds, and they were missing Pokemon random encounters as well. Matter of fact, Coliseum, you basically were Team Rocket and you were stealing Pokemon from other people. And on Gale of Darkness had random encounters, but it was very minimal. So it's like, it's not like it's the first time this is out and no one complained back then. People are now just complaining because they're able to, and the internet's bigger, and they can be vocal, and they can try and get as many followers as they can because they have an opinion. Like, that's what the internet is nowadays. Someone goes out, oh, it doesn't have random battles, I hate this. 300 upvotes on Twitter. This guy now has a bunch of followers. Like, so it's like,
listen to my unpopular opinion.
Yeah, my unpopular opinion. Now I'm cool. So it's like, really think about it. Is this really how you feel about the encounters not being there? Or is this someone else's opinion? Like, because I want to hear you guys' opinion. What do you think about not being able to have those Pokemon battles with the random encounters? Good idea or bad idea? You already know where I stand. But do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea? Because personally, being able to battle them does not change the game in any form to me. And because they force you in a lot of trainer battles.
Right, that's the thing. Like you said, the trainer battles, like, it doesn't mean that there are no battles whatsoever. Like, I think most of the charm comes from the trainer battles. Like, from what I've played of mainline Pokemon, which is like nothing, but still, like, I've held one in my hand for 5 minutes, and like the trainer battles are very charming. So
yeah, and like here's the trailer I was talking about. I couldn't find mine, so I just pulled it up on YouTube. Now let's see what the random encounters. When I was talking about where you could see the Pokemon popping up and changing out. Let me see, and I'll put this trailer in slow motion as well, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. We'll put this at 1.5. Now let's see, where's the part with the Pidgey? Because that was like the most obvious part. Oh, 1.5 is actually fast. Hold on. 0.5. So that's that encounter. Where's the encounter where they're going into Mount Moon? There's the one where they're going into Mount Moon. Here it is. When they're going into Mount Moon, guys, let me slow this down even more just in case. Looking at this, you see this? You see the Pidgey right here? And then the game decides to totally cockblock me and do something completely different. Hold on.
Freaking trailers.
Yeah, trailers. Well, yeah, either way, you can see the wild Pokemon here. Where is that one where you can see the Pokemon physically appear and reappear, you know? But let's see what everyone's played. Have y'all played Earthbound? I played a little bit of Earthbound, growing up. I did not get into it because as a kid, I hated RPGs. The only one I was okay with was Pokemon, actually. So, did you guys play Earthbound ever?
No. Yeah, I played Earthbound before.
Well,
I've played some of Mother, but
you played Mother as well. Yeah, I don't think David. Yeah, David's played like nothing, so it's.
Hey, no.
But yeah, Earthbound. I didn't play it enough. I'd gladly stream it for you guys if you would like to see Earthbound on the channel at all. I own it. I have it on Super Nintendo and I have an SNES Classic, so I am fully capable of playing it. I just have not sat down and put the time into it because I did not appreciate RPGs properly when I was a kid. I do now, but back then, I didn't even come close. Something about Detective Pikachu. Wasn't Detective Pikachu a game? Yes, Detective Pikachu was a game. It was decent. That's all I gotta say about it. No one talks about Coliseum or Gale of Darkness beside this podcast. Boy, I'll stream Coliseum and Gale of Darkness if that's something you want to see. I still own both games. But either way, I don't know. There's some things with this trailer that I have to skim through to show you what I was talking about. because you could physically see Pokemon, like right there. There we go. Zubat, right here in the corner. You can see Zubat right here just appear.
Right.
So, like, the Pokemon appear and reappear, so you don't have to run into encounters that you don't want to be in. So, it doesn't matter if you want to catch them. That's the difference. People fought the Pokemon because they appeared, not because they were trying to fight a Pokemon. Now, if you want to fight, I guess you can't, but if you could at least see the one you're about to fight. Oh my god. But
I'm just, like I said, if they have gyms and everything, which they haven't said anything about, I'm just curious as to...
They honestly don't need to, because they said that it's based off of Pokemon Yellow, and that it shares almost, like, what was it, 95% of the similarities to the game, meaning there's going to be gyms. Like, there has to be gyms at that point. Like, or else they would have never said that the game is 95% the same thing.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like when you take away, you know, the encounters with like being able to battle Pokemon and everything, I don't know. I think it just kind of takes away something from the game, even with the trainers and everything. But that's just me.
Yeah. I can see that.
Because, like, for me, like I said, like I'm not gonna sit back and say that I fought every single wild Pokemon that I came across, but I fought probably 90% of the wild ones that I did come across, because I was like, okay, like, especially in Yellow, like, there was no freaking way in hell you were going up against Brock with a Pikachu, you know, so I had to go and search for, you know, whatever it was, some, you know, whether it was an Oddish or something, and then I'm like, okay, I have to train this Oddish. I've already battled all the trainers, now I've got to train him more and get him up to a point where he's strong enough to then have like a leaf attack.
If you don't have what you need from the regular trainer battles in Viridian Forest, by the time you get to Brock, you already did it wrong anyway.
But I don't think there's a wrong way to play the game. It's, I mean, everybody's got their own play. No, I don't think there's a wrong way to play the game. Everybody's got their own play style, but I don't know. Like I said, I feel like not being able to battle wild Pokemon kind of takes away from the whole thing, you know.
Well, I'm sure there's some types of substitute for it, although they haven't touched base on it, and there's a lot of stuff about the game that we're not aware of still. So we'll see what happens.
I guarantee you we'll hear more about that at their direct or whatever after E3.
We'll learn more.
But
now, I guess before we end this stream and end this topic, was there anything else you guys wanted to mention about Pokemon Let's Go?
No.
No? Alright guys, here's the last part, the Q&A. Is there anything you guys have any questions for us or anything you want to specifically talk about really quick before we end it? We'll wait just a second. It's funny, I actually put the stream in real time.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Yeah, I set it for real time, so I'm probably going to do that for Pulschats from now on, so that when they give us a response, we can actually say something right away.
Yes, they are. Link Eevee.
Let's see, I wonder, are the Alolas Pokemon still there? I don't know. Good question.
They did say that the Alola versions of the Pokemon, like of the original, like 150 or whatever, that were like Executor and everything, like those are going to be in the Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu.
Which makes no sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why either, because it's like that was specific to the Sun and Moon version. So if it's a remake of Yellow, why would you throw that in there?
Like the thing is, it's a different region, so why would you have Pokemon from like fucking Hawaii sitting in Japan? Like some of them don't even survive. Like they even state Executor is as big as it is in the Alola region because Kanto and any other place in Japan doesn't have the sunlight needed to actually give Executor the nutrition that it needs to be as tall as it's supposed to be. So it's like,
man. It's weird.
So, yeah.
Tis an old one. I will agree.
What do you think about Inkling being in Smash?
I think it's amazing, and I was saying Inkling should have been in the Wii U one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see how they're going to use them. But I mean, it's with Nintendo. I mean, that's a Nintendo-owned IP. I didn't. And plus, they had it in Oh, they had them in Mario Kart too, so I mean, it's only fitting that they throw them in Smash.
Yeah. I'm not that excited. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're. I guess personally, I haven't really gotten a good introduction to them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, not as attached. Like, I guess I'm the only one that didn't play like Splatoon 1. Yeah,
Nope, I didn't.
Okay, so for
Not the only
everyone, so for everyone that is still here in the chat, definitely let me know. Everybody who is still here, let me know if you are still here, so I can actually decide on this thingy. Which is your favorite Smash game? Smash. It depends. It depends.
Yeah, it does depend.
For the stages, Smash Brothers Melee. For the gameplay, Smash Brothers Wii U. For the story mode and all the extra modes, Smash Brothers Wii. It's so hard to say. Yeah. They need to bring back like Break the Targets, and they need to bring back the adventure mode and
game.
I think Melee was the best, and I played Brawl, and I mean Brawl was good. I mean, I haven't really come across a game of theirs that I didn't like, but I mean, I know even like the competitive people really like Brawl, go to Brawl. Or not Brawl, but Melee.
Yeah, competitive people love Melee because it's like fundamentally broken, and so they can like do all this stuff. I
think Smash 4 is the best.
I don't like the one that I don't like at all compared to the rest is Smash Brothers Wii. Like if someone said, "Hey, let's play Smash," all I have is Smash Wii. Not complaining. Yeah. Although I don't like it compared to the others.
Yeah, I think I like Smash Wii the best. I think the Wii version is a tad underrated, and I think Melee is way too overrated. And the first one is just kind of there.
Okay, so Link Eevee, you are the only one that actually said you are still being active in the chat. So I will. Oh, and Edward is still here. Okay, so guys, here is the question to win a gift card, and you will be receiving your gift card in a couple days, a day from now at least. Will you play Dark Souls? Maybe. But here is the question. And you have to answer it first. The first person I see answer it will win said gift card. It'll be for whatever system you please. What was Sonic originally supposed to be before they decided to make him a hedgehog? Let's see if you guys can answer that.
A cat. Or bird.
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you.
Yep, they have to answer a question to get it.
Are we waiting for them to get it right?
Yeah. No one's got it. And you guys are all wrong. Edward didn't even do one. Sonic was originally supposed to be a rabbit. That was his first player model. So you guys have just been educated. I guess since you two were the only ones that stuck around other than Frank the Tank, who's a moderator, so he technically does not count. Man, I'm just waiting for the answer. Like, Sonic is supposed to be a rabbit. I'm surprised a lot of people didn't know that.
Well, I'll take the gift card for my birthday and all that. No, I'm just...
Oh my god. Alright, so we'll be doing another Pulse Chat on Friday. Keep in mind for anyone that's new here or anybody that's just kind of stuck around and been silent, Pulse Chats are typically on Fridays. So keep that in mind. Pulse Chat is on Fridays, and we will do gift card giveaways for that. This one wasn't really a traditional Pulse Chat since it's during the week. But we will do 2 gift card giveaways every Pulse Chat, and that's every week. So keep that in mind, guys. And hopefully you guys are able to answer the question for next week's Pulse Chat. I mean, for Friday's Pulse Chat, excuse me. But either way, I hope you guys have a great evening, night, afternoon, whichever one you would like to call it. And we are peacing out, guys.
Bye!
EGD.